Hi loves, you are very welcome back to our channel. Today is native banga jollof on the menu. You don't want to miss this one. You really don't want to miss it. It's so rich, and especially for my friends in diaspora, you don't want to miss this one. Stay right glued to your screen and let's make this together. So guys, we're gonna start with our palm fruit concentrate. If you have the luxury to make yours, it's actually the best to make yours yourself. But if you are abroad like I am and you don't have access to the raw fruits, then you want to go for palm nut concentrate, the ones in the tin, just like I am using right now. You transfer it to a bowl and you pour some hot water into it to dissolve it. You set it aside and let it to sediment, because sometimes you can find sands and some other substances in it. So I like to sieve out mine later. I keep it on the side and let it all sediment after I've added the hot water. And then over to our meat of choice. I'm using chicken drumsticks, and that has been marinating overnight actually. You can marinate yours for a few hours or depending on how long you have. I just greased the baking tray and lined the chicken drumsticks evenly on the tray. I used the ginger and garlic paste, the frozen one. I've told you before that I like to blend them and put in the freezer, or I even buy store-bought frozen like that. So I put some Cameroon pepper. If you know Cameroon pepper, you know how hot it is, and it gives this native vibes to food sometimes. So I just added some Cameroon pepper and pasted it on the chicken just to give it that native taste. You could put on some kitchen gloves and rubbing the mix on the chicken just to give it that vibe, just to get the kick going. But I didn't do any of that. I just rubbed it on the chicken. But if you want to rub it in the more, you can use your hands. Just put on some gloves and rub it in the chicken. It makes it even tastier. Then I sprayed with some olive oil spray. This is actually optional, but your girl is extra. So yeah, I had to spray just because I wanted it to be a bit crisp on the outside, like when you fry your chicken. Our palm oil concentrate has been sitting for quite some minutes, so it's time to sieve it out now. You can see that part that it's a little bit black. I was trying to show you, but no, of course the camera didn't capture it. It was above the level of camera. But yeah, that black part is actually some sand. I tried to touch it and it was a bit rough. That's to show that it has a bit of sand in it. So it's always good to let it sediment and to sieve it through. So then you cover up your pot and let it boil for about 20 minutes. While that is boiling, I started to prepare some diced beef. I started by heating up some oil in a hot frying pan, and then I added some sliced onions and garlic. Fried for about 2 minutes, and then I threw in fresh rosemary to fry along with them. After another 2 minutes, I introduced the diced beef. Guys, we get this beef steak from Farm Foods. It's really nice, but if you don't have access to it, you can always dice up your beef in the shape and size that you want and fry it up in this onions and garlic. It's actually really nice. All you need to do is to sprinkle some salt, and it comes out really tasty. Just in case you were wondering, yes, I'm cooking it from frozen. Yeah, I'm actually cooking it from frozen because you can. So, yeah. Some minutes into cooking, I diced up some hot chili and I added it to it as well. Guys, you want to keep stirring so that it cooks evenly on all sides. And at some point, I now had to cover up the frying pan so that after it had already released its juices, I covered it up so that the rest of the juice can slowly simmer into the beef. You know what I mean? Don't mind me, guys, don't mind me, but yeah, you just want to cook your beef thoroughly. Except you like, I don't like it tough, except you like tough meat, but I really don't like tough meat. I feel like it's punishment. So yeah, I tried to cook it very well. I covered it up so that it can cook in its juice, and then when it was done, we set it aside. As you can already see, guys, I like to multitask in the kitchen. I do different things at different times, but just don't forget anyone, okay? So yeah, I poured some hot water into my rice. I think that was about 4 cups of rice. You cook as much as your family can take, or as much as you can take. So I'm not parboiling the rice today. I decided to just pour some boiling water into it and let it sit for some minutes. At this point, I decided to wash my fish. This is the fish that I got from Dear Ma. You can see that I keep my dried fish frozen. How do you preserve yours? I mean, I come back with a lot of it. My mom gave me a lot, like a full bag of dried fish. So that's what I've been using. I mean, I came back since January and this is what's left of it. That's to show how big it is, and it's still very fresh. You just need to put it in an airtight bag where water cannot seep in through, and then you tightly tie it and pop it in the freezer. Nothing happens to it. I'm using a very thick nylon bag, and that's why it's like this. So this is September and my fish is still intact, but mommy, I need some more. Anyway, thank you, mom, for this. I actually decided to show so that she will see that I have been using this fish judiciously and jealously. So guys, you want to wash your fish thoroughly, but this one is really clean, to be honest. I just poured some boiling water on it, let it sit for about 2 to 5 minutes, and then I washed it, taking out the bones and stuff. You want to wash your fish very well, okay guys? So here you have it. I'm tying my fish back and I'm putting it back in the freezer. This is going to last me for another few months. How long does your fish last? Do you like dried fish like me? I feel like it's a very, very good and important commodity here. Yes, so for native jollof rice, you want to use a lot of dried fish. You also want to use a lot of crayfish, because you know all those native ingredients, that's what we need more in this, okay guys? So we're not sparing anything. This is going to be a really sumptuous meal. I've got beef, I've got fish, I've got prawns, lots and lots, guys, lots and lots. So now back to our beef. You see it's thoroughly cooked now. Cook it to your choice. I mean, some people like their meat rare. Well, not me. So yeah, I introduced my prawns at this point just because I like to char it a little bit. You already know that, don't you? It's cooked already, but you know, I just like that char effect on it. I did so, I covered it, and that was it for the meat. Back to the palm nut concentrates. Guys, you notice I've been changing burners. That's how much I love you, because I just want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So when I want to show you a particular pot, I bring it to the closer burner to you. Don't you just see that I love you? You better reciprocate that love by liking this video and sharing with your friends, okay guys? Yeah, so palm nut concentrate has been boiling for 20 minutes like we said earlier, and it's time to add every other thing. I added chicken stock that I have left in the fridge. You can add water, to be honest, you can add water, but you know, the tastier the better. So I added some chicken stock, covered it up to boil, and then I added some banga spice. This is actually optional, but if you're in diaspora, then it's important because, you know, we don't have the actual ingredients we need. So we need everything that can bring the taste back to nature, back to home as much as possible. Then I added some crayfish and then some blended onions. That's I added 2 salt and bulbs pepper. Of onions. That was I used Cameroon pepper because of the native taste it gives. Remember, like I said earlier. And then I added half of the already washed dried fish. I put in half because I just want the taste of the fish to sink into the food, but then I didn't want everything to, you know, like crush up into the food. I still wanted to get some chunks when eating, so I left half for when I'll add the rice. So I covered up the pot and allowed it to boil. You know, there's a lot of boiling in this. If you want to get the actual taste of the palm fruit, there's no rushing in it. So while it boiled, I then added the washed rice. Remember to wash your rice thoroughly, guys. I cannot overemphasize the importance of washing your rice thoroughly. I introduced the rice at this point, added the rest of the dried fish, and then allowed it to cook gently. 20 minutes later, and it was all cooked. All I needed to do was to stir it to combine everything together. And you know that for banga rice, we like to make it a bit mushy. I don't know if that's the same with you, but we like to make it really soft, not like the jollof rice. You know, this is different. So I stirred it even with the liquid and stuff. You know, when you mix it up, it tends to dry up a little bit. So yeah, at this point it was ready, but I used this wooden spoon to stir it because I just wanted to get it a bit mushy as well, you know. So yeah, food is ready at this point. I just diced up some red bell peppers to add to it to give it a bit of color. If, you know, because of my kids, I don't like to use Scotch bonnet as much, so if you can tolerate the hotness, then you can use Scotch bonnet. But because of my kids, I started to dice up bell peppers, added to it, and then I introduced our beef, our stir-fried beef and prawns. Mixed it all together, and you can pretty much serve it as it is. But then I added basil leaf. You can use scent leaf if that's what you have where you are, or you can even serve it like that. But that also adds some flavors to it, so I used basil leaf in mine. There you have it, guys. Our food is ready. This is the evidence of our hard work. All those boiling and all those blending and everything we did, we came to a beautiful meal at the end of the day. I hope you try this recipe and let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Share with your friends. Tell me anything you do differently. You know, this is really beautiful, especially with the red bell peppers that I've added to it. I hope you try this, guys. I hope you try it. Share your recipes with me, okay? And then do well to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video because I know you've enjoyed it. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys. Bye.